Hello, everyone, and welcome to. Well, it's not a tier list per se. It is a pick your favorites of each type of each generation thing, and this is probably going to take us a couple of episodes. I don't think I can get through all of this in, half an hour, 45 minutes like normal. I'm not even sure I could get through it in like an hour if I went through all of this, Now, I will note, I have absolutely no idea about really anything in Gen 9. So I might end up just skipping this line, just in general. But we'll see how things go. So I think it's really neat, though, because the way this works is you click on a box, and it shows you every possible option for that box. Which is really handy, because then I don't have to, go in and, search for things. I can just click and, choose from there. So I think that's really cool. It's a really handy way of setting things up. I don't know any of these Pokemon at all. I know nothing about Gen 9. Just because I haven't been able to play it or anything. So I know nothing about any of these. Oh yeah, my Switch is completely broken now, by the way, for anyone who didn't know. Before, my Switch just overheated if it ran for more than half an hour, 45 minutes. Now it just doesn't even turn on at all. It's legit fully broken now. But we're 2 minutes into this. We haven't even picked our first Pokemon yet, so let's get started. We got some nice Let's Go Pikachu Eevee background music for this. And let's start with our favorite of the normal types in Generation 1. And I have to say, I think that out of all of the normal types in Gen 1, I would normally say Eevee here, but this thing is going to get so filled up with Eevees, it's ridiculous if I say Eevee for any, if I allow myself to use Eevees, it will be all Eevees. So I'm actually going to pick Raticate, because Raticate's an awesome normal type. So, but yeah, Eevee definitely beats out Raticate, but still. As for Fire type, normally I would say Flareon, but again, I'm going to have Eeveelutions in here, but if I have the option to not use an Eeveelution, I'm going to do that. So, plus I just want to highlight some of the other, Pokemon that I like that aren't Eeveelutions. So I'm going to go with Ninetales for Gen 1 Fire type, because Ninetales is freaking awesome. Water types, there are so many water types in Generation 1. But no matter what, Pokemon I look to for, favorite water type, I always end up coming back to the same set of 5 Pokemon. And out of those 5, it's always got to be Squirtle as number 1. Favorite grass type. Now, see, this is where I would start having... This is where I would have an issue, because I'm not really that big of a fan of any of these Pokemon. Like, they're not bad, they're just not, like, favorite material. I think if I had to choose, such as, you know, if I'm doing a list of favorites, I would pick Venusaur. Electric Pokemons. What is my favorite electric Pokemon? I wonder if you can guess. So this is one I'm going to allow myself to pick an evolution because I just, out of these, like, all of these Pokemon are pretty much exactly the same to me, except for Jolteon. And I know, I'm not picking Pikachu. What's wrong with me? So ice types. If we're picking an ice type, and obviously we're being allowed to pick like multi-type, it definitely has to be Lapras. So, when it comes to fighting types, on the other hand, see, this one's a hard one for me, because again, just like grass, none of these are really in my, like, are really up there. None of them really interest me that much. I don't know, I've just never been a big, like, fighting type user. So, I guess I would use Hitmonchan, just because I think out of Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee, I think I usually use Hitmonchan. And I'm just not really big on any of the others, so. Poison types. Now, see, the issue here is, I think, you know, I get why the ghosts are here, but considering that they're the only 3 options in ghosts, that seems really unfair. Just saying. But I guess if I had to pick a favorite that's like, that I would associate more with poison over any other typing, because like, I could pick Venusaur again, right? But I've already picked Venusaur for grass type. And honestly, I rarely remember that Venusaur is freaking poison type anyway. I think out of all of these, I would have to pick Nidoqueen. Yeah. Ground types. Honestly, there's really only one ground type that I'm that I not only like remember as ground type, but I'm like really that into at all. Like, again, here's another, like, I don't even think of these two as ground types. I think of them as poison type. These ones, for example, I always think as rock type. And so really, I think I have to give it to Marowak. Just because Marowak is, like, so heavily focused on. I like the story. Sorry, I just woke up from what I thought was going to be like an hour-long nap, and instead ended up turning into a full, like, sleep. So, it is what it is. Flying type. Always gotta go Pidgeot for flying type in Generation 1. Because frickin' Ash and his Pidgeotto, you know, I mean, yes, it did evolve into Pidgeot in the end, but still, like, you gotta go, Pidgeotto. You gotta go for Pidgeotto, because Ash and Pidgeotto. I said Pidgeot, click Pidgeot, but I meant Pidgeotto. My apologies. Psychic types. So once again, you know, a lot of these I don't think of in terms of psychic. You know, Slowpoke, Slowbro are water. You know, Execute, Exeggutor are grass. Starmie is water. Jinx is ice. If it had to come down to an actual, like, psychic type that I like, that I think of as being psychic, I think it would have to be Kadabra, honestly. So I really don't care at all about bug-type Pokemon either. That said, every time I, like, need a bug-type on my team, I always either go Butterfree or Scyther. And that's dependent entirely on whether I need an aggressive bug-type or not, you know? If I'm looking for more of a, you know, poison powder, stun powder, you know, then it's Butterfree. If I'm looking for that actual, like, gotta attack with it, then I would go Scyther. For this list, I'm going to go with Butterfree, obviously. Rock type, again, so many of these I don't even see as rock type. Like, I forget that a lot of these are rock type Pokemon. But honestly, if I had to declare, you know, like, for example, Kabuto I know is rock type, but I view it as a water type. You know, Kabuto, Lapras, Squirtle, Gyarados, and Psyduck / Golduck. Those are my top 5, like, water types, and I would put them as all being water type. I wouldn't even think about the fact that they're ice and rock and psychic, you know? Golduck is not psychic, actually. The heck? Is he not psychic? Wow, that's a Mandela effect right there. Holy crap, dude. That's a Mandela effect right there. Rhyhorn, by the way, for rock type. Ghost type. Do you pick the ghost or the ghost? Haunter because of the anime. Gee, I wonder which dragon type we're going to pick. Dratini, actually. Dark types. Interesting. The way they have, I would have figured they would have just, like, taken the dark types. But yeah, like this. I would have figured they just took the dark types and added them in. Really? Mr. Mime is a fairy type? Are there no dark types in the Gen 1 Pokemon? Even after the, like, change in Gen 2? I guess I never realized that. Well, I guess we're leaving this slot empty because these are all just missing now. So, a whopping 2 choices for steel type. Oh, I get... Clefairy is a fairy type. That's a Mandela effect right there, too. Because I remember, like, why isn't... Well, when they added fairy type, it was like, why isn't Clefairy a fairy? Apparently, Clefairy is a fairy. Okay. Favorite starter Pokemon. Out of all of these, I'm at... So, because we already have Squirtle over in the water types, that's what I would pick. But since they're allowing for Pikachu and Eevee as well, I will actually allow Eevee to be put here. Oh yeah, favorite gimmick forms. These are mostly, I think, Mega forms. Some of these are also the not Z forms, the Dynamax, Gigantamax, whatever it's called. But yeah, most of these are Mega forms. And out of all the, like, out of all of the forms, really, think I would go Mega Blastoise. Favorite legendary has to go to Mew. And favorite Gen 1 Pokemon out of all of the things that I picked, obviously, has to go to Squirtle. I know, you're surprised I didn't pick Eevee, right? I'm gonna be honest. I think I mentioned this on my favorites video. 'Cause I think I did a starter tier list thing. Squirtle comes before Vaporeon and Eevee. But Eevee is my favorite anything Pokemon, you know? So alright, Gen 2. My favorite normal type of Gen 2. That is the question. There's a lot of Pokemon in Gen 2 that I like. I think I have to go with Porygon just because I really, really like Porygon 2's design. But a lot of these are good Pokemon. I do like a lot of these. I like Girafarig. I like Stantler. I swear this thing is a Gen 3. I like Furret, but I think, favorite, I'd have to go with Porygon. When it comes down to, again, this is another one. This is some Mandela effect going on. Because I only know of this as a Gen 3 Pokemon. I didn't even realize this was in Gen 2. If I had to pick out of all of these, it's definitely going to be Cyndaquil over Quilava or Typhlosion. I just like that it's cute, you know? Water type. Honestly, out of all of the water types that they introduced in Gen 2, I think my favorite really... I think I would probably pick Suicune. Yeah, because I'm probably going to end up picking Slowbro in Psychic type. Just because I would probably pick Eevee or Espeon. Otherwise, so let's do that. Let's do Suicune here. And spoiler, Slowking will be our Psychic over here. Favorite grass type has to go absolutely to Cyndaquil. Favorite electric type is a really good question. I really didn't use any of the electric types in Gen 2 very much. I do like the Mareep line. Mareep is a sheep, and I like that, so I think I'm just gonna go with Mareep. I really don't care about any of these Pokemon, to be honest. I guess we'll go Sneasel. But that might end up needing to be Dark type. See, again, I would absolutely pick Umbreon here, but I'm trying not to pick the evolutions, otherwise they would just fill the board. So, actually, yeah, I have a different one I can pick for Dark type, so. Oh, that's a lot of choices for Fighting type. Guess we're going Hitmontop. Not a lot of options for Poison either. I guess there weren't as many Pokemon added in Gen 2 because, you know, you went from 151 to 251. Sorry, you may have seen down here that I had many messages. I wanted to double check those. Let's see. Ground type Pokemon. I forget that all of these Pokemon are even ground types. Not gonna lie. Donphan, I think, is the name of this one. I guess that's the one I would have to pick, because that's the only one that I even, like, think of as ground type. Because, like, Steelix, I always think is rock steel, but it's not. I guess it's ground steel. And also, it will almost definitely end up in steel type. Actually, no, I would pick Skarmory in steel type. So, I guess I'd go with Steelix then. Even though I don't really associate it with steel type, so. Oh, except that out of all of these, I would end up picking Skarmory. Okay. So Donphan here and Steelix over here. I am trying to avoid, duplicates, so. Bug type absolutely has to be Shuckle. You don't fuckle with Shuckle. Oh, except that Shuckle is also a rock type. Is there a different bug type I would pick then, I wonder? I guess. Again, I'm trying to avoid duplicates. So, I guess instead I would pick Yanma, so that way Shuckle can go here. I had no idea Corsola was a rock type. How about that? There's a lot of options in for ghost type there. Yep, a lot of options. Houndoom. Obviously, the answer is Umbreon, but again, am trying to avoid evolution. So, fairy type, I would say Togetic. Favorite starter has to be Cyndaquil. There's not a lot of these. I don't really like any of these at all. I guess I'll go with Houndoom's Mega Evolution. Favorite legendary here, of course, has to be Celebi. And out of all of these Pokemon, which is our favorite of Generation 2? It would be Umbreon, but we didn't pick, Umbreon on purpose. Again, trying to avoid the evolutions because they would absolutely conquer the board. So we'll go with Shuckle. I think we've got enough time to do Generation 3, and after that, we'll probably end off Part 1. So Generation 3, this is going to be interesting because I really don't know a lot of Generation 3, and I'm probably going to be very surprised that some of these are Generation 3. But let's see. My favorite has to be Delcatty of normal types. Delcatty is awesome. Fire types, I think I would go with Torkoal. That's a lot of water types. I guess it makes sense. Half of the freaking region is water. 7.8 out of 10, too much water after all. So there's that. Honestly, this is probably going to be something that a lot of people pick, but I'm going to go Milotic. Hey, that rhymed and I wasn't even trying. Grass type, it's definitely going to be Tropius. Well, actually, let me look at the flying types for a sec. Yeah, no, I've got a different one that I can pick for for flying. I was gonna pick Grovyle, but I would pick Tropius over Grovyle any day. So, electric types. We're gonna go with Manectric. I think that's right. No, this is Electrike. This one's Manectric, right? It's whichever the green one is, surprisingly. Despite my absolute hatred for green. Regice is my favorite ice Pokemon there. I really don't care for any of these Pokemon. I guess I would pick Hariyama. Out of these ones, it would have to be Seviper, I think, for poison type. For ground type, I didn't even know half of these were ground type. So there's that. What are you cats doing? That is like, you're like all growling back there. I guess it's gonna be Groudon. So what typing is Groudon beyond ground type? I wonder. I guess I've never even thought about it. Flying type, it's gonna be Swellow, I believe. Again, I don't fully know a lot of these Pokemon. I would normally pick Metagross, but Metagross is almost... Well, no. There's definitely a Pokemon I would pick over Metagross in Steel. So let's pick Metagross here. I would associate it more with Steel, but out of these Pokemon, I would pick Metagross, absolutely. So, for, Psychic typing. Again, this is I don't really care about any of these. So, I guess I would go with Beautifly, because Beautifly is pretty cool. Now, I've got to go with Shedinja. Shedinja is actually, like, pretty awesome. Rock type, I think... Yeah. I was gonna say Relicanth for water type over here. But I was pretty sure it had a second typing. So yeah, let's go with Relicanth for rock type. Ooh, the spooky ghost types. I guess it would be Sableye. Like, I'm not really that into any of them, though. Favorite dragon type. See, I didn't even realize Latios and Latias were dragons. So I would have said, like, I would pick Flygon normally. Like, if you were to say, what's your favorite Gen 3 dragon? I would immediately say Flygon. But mostly because I don't realize that Latios and Latias are dragons, so. Favorite dark type. Well, that one's easy. Mightyena for sure. Favorite steel type is the Aron, Aggron, and Lyron line. I think that one's Aggron, if I remember right. Favorite fairy type. That's a good question. First off, I forget any of these are fairies. I think Kirlia. I'm just not really into either Gardevoir or Ralts, to be honest. But Kirlia is cute, so. Which is my favorite starter? Grovyle. Favorite gimmick form? I like that these two Pokemon are exactly just the same. Freaking Mega Latios and Mega Latias. Like, what the heck? Like, how did that happen? Like, who looked at it and went, oh, they're exactly the same. I mean, I really like the primal forms. You know, Primal Kyogre and Primal Groudon. Those look pretty awesome. But I think I would have to go with Mega Absol. So, favorite legendary in general, I think, would be Latias. And favorite Pokemon out of all of these Pokemon that we picked is definitely going to go to Mightyena. So, well, that brings us about the half. That brings us to Gen 4. That does bring us to like exactly 30 minutes. 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm wondering if I want to do. Let's do Gen 4 as well. Just because I don't even think I can answer any of the Gen 9s. So, like, if I do, you know, Gen 1 through 4, then I can do Gen 5 through 8. And then we can finish off all of this as well in that same, like, episode. So, let's do that. Let's do Gen 4. Because I was thinking, like, 1 through 3, then 4 through 6, then 7 through 9, and finish off. But I legitimately don't think I can answer any of these. I don't know any of these Pokemon in Gen 9. So Gen 4, the best normal type is Arceus. Aw, they don't have Arceus in every type. That's sad. I totally would have done that if I had made this. I would have put Arceus in every single one of these slots. Just because I would have seen how many people would put Arceus the entire way across. But no, seriously. For Gen 4, I think my favorite normal type would have to be Munchlax. So, I always think of it as a Gen 3 Pokemon, though, so I didn't even realize. Fire type is going to end up being Heatran, because I don't care for any of the others, except maybe Rotom. But I'm going to assume Rotom is going to end up here. And while, you know, these are technically different Pokemon, they're also just different forms of the same Pokemon. So I count that as a repeat. So, favorite water type has to go to Piplup. Favorite grass type, I think, would have to go to Shaymin. Let's do Skyform. Just, again, because I'm avoiding picking the evolutions, because otherwise Leafeon and Glaceon would absolutely dominate, you know, any of these. So, one sec. Alright. Favorite electric type. This is hard. Because I would absolutely pick Pachirisu. But I would also absolutely pick Luxray. Is Luxray anywhere else? I don't think so. I think Luxray is just an electric type. So I guess I'm gonna go Luxray, even though normally I would probably say Pachirisu. This is another one where really the only option is an evolution, just like an electric type. You know, in Gen 1. So there's Glaceon. Fighting type, you have to go with freaking Lucario. Lucario, everybody's favorite fighting Pokemon. Poison type, I would say, is Croagunk. over Toxicroak, because Croagunk in the anime is hilarious. Ground type, I guess, because Garchomp is probably going to be Dragon over there. And yet, I really can't think of anything else, but, like, I absolutely associate Garchomp with Dragon over Ground. I guess Torterra, because it is kind of a neat design, the whole, like, World Tree turtle thing. Favorite flying type. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say Togekiss, I think, is a fairy type. So, that I would have picked Togekiss, but as Mime Jr. and Togekiss are the only options in Fairy. And again, trying to avoid duplicates. I know I keep saying it, but I guess fine. We'll put Leafeon, that way we can put Shaman over here. So Glaceon and Leafeon here. You know, as much as I obviously tried to avoid them, Shaman can go into flying. Psychic type. The pink one. I don't remember which one is Uxie, which one is Mesprit, and which one is Azelf, but the pink one. Bug types. I can tell you which one I hate the most. Frickin' Kricketot over there. I have a story about that. I was freaking... I think I told this story. But when I was playing through Gen 4, I was using a cheat code so that I could catch all of the Pokemon. And the cheat code would replace every Pokemon with either Kricketune if it was low level, Kricketot if it was high level, or with the Pokemon I was actually trying to get. And so, like, I ran into Kricketune and Kricketot so many times that I got annoyed at them, and I hate them because of that. I guess I would go with Combee? Just because it's the only one that I really give any care about. Rock type. I do really like, what is this, Rampardos. So, Ghost type, as I mentioned earlier, is going to go to Rotom. Dragon type is going to go to Garchomp. Dark type has to go to Darkrai. Steel type, again, I would probably pick Lucario, but as I'm attempting to avoid duplicates, I think I'll pick Dialga, because my favorite legendary is not going to be Dialga. Starter, I mean, I know I picked Piplup earlier, but that's just the way it is. Favorite gimmick form is... I guess Mega Lucario is fine. Favorite legendary is going to go to Arceus. No, Pogia. And my favorite out of any of these Pokemon, I guess I'm just gonna pick one of the evolutions. Leafeon and Glaceon I think would both fit. Let's go with Lucario just so that I don't have to pick. There we go. Alright, well there's my favorite of everything of each type for Gen 1 through Gen 4. Next time we'll go through the Gen 5 through 8. We'll probably just skip Gen 9 since I know nothing about Gen 9. And then we'll finish off down here in that same episode, since there's not that many things. So, with that, I hope you've enjoyed. If you did, feel free to subscribe. This is just probably just a one-off. I don't think I've been putting these like tier list things into a playlist. But if there is a playlist, you can check that out for other, tier lists. And also there is a link down below to Discord and to Patreon. It does help support the channel. And with that, I'll see you all next time. Nice. See you later.